Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 140 of the Run in the Paint podcast. I'm Miles here with Nick, Joey, and Ben. Guys, how are you doing today?
Feeling good, feeling great. It's the off season, not too much news, but we're here.
Well, there's some news. We got Portland Trailblazers legend to talk about. What's up,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
We're back. We're back.
Absolutely. Lots of
Yeah.
stuff going on, really, for the offseason. We got a couple big signings that have happened over the last couple days, and we have a couple games once again, since we are deep into the off season. So let's get right into it with the out of nowhere, but just randomly today, we get the notification that, as Nick said, Dame Dalla is heading back to the Portland Trailblazers. This is just an incredible storybook type of end to this, sad, part of his career with the Milwaukee Bucks after the Achilles injury in the playoffs. Going back to the Blazers, 3 years, $42 million with a player option and a no trade clause. The goal is going to be for him to retire as a Portland Trailblazer, as it should be, Joey. Dame is super loyal to Portland. Only makes sense that he's going back.
It just fits. It really does. I'm very happy about that. I know this year it's not gonna. He's probably not gonna play at all just because of the Achilles injury and him recovering. But still got a young squad, couple more pieces as soon as he gets back. Who knows? Portland is going to be very fun to watch. I know I was already looking forward to seeing how their whole class goes this year. Their whole rookie class and the guys from last year, Denny Avila, they're a fun squad to look forward to in the future. And you get the legend Dame Lillard back, probably one of the greatest Portland Trailblazers to ever play for that franchise. And it's just fitting. It really is.
Maybe the greatest
Yeah.
Portland Trailblazer. I think that could definitely be debatable. Ben, what were your thoughts when you saw this? I mean, I know we were talking when Dame Dalla was stretched by Milwaukee that we'd never seen before, and we were having the discussions like, should he sign with a team this offseason since he's not going to play at all next year? Ben, were you surprised that he signed with a team in the summer at all?
I was surprised by that. That's what I was thinking he was gonna do. I wasn't totally sure which team, but I mean, I was surprised that it came out of nowhere that he already signed with Portland today. But I mean, I wasn't surprised that he picked Portland because I knew when he was in Milwaukee, he kind of missed Portland. Like he had family back there, and I just think he's really happy about coming home, and I think it's great that him and the Blazers are reuniting. I think that's right for both sides, I guess.
Yeah, Nick, what are your thoughts on Lillard going back to Portland?
It's just a great story, like Joey said. Dame time originated in Portland, and it's gonna end in Portland. I think it could be a potential place where like he has an opportunity to make a deep playoff run. Like we like the Blazers and their future, so like getting possibly, like you said, Miles, the greatest Blazer of all time, back on that squad who's up and coming is very exciting. And yeah, it's a pretty cool thing for Dame to be able, like, he was never happy in Milwaukee and he wanted to be in Portland. And his option, other than Portland, was Miami when they were talking about trading him. Obviously, that didn't happen. So for him to be back there on like a mid level deal, sort of, is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and of course it makes sense. I mean, it really is a full circle type of thing, obviously. I mean, Damian Lillard, of course, those years at the end in Portland, they made it to the Western Conference Finals in 2019, but I don't know if we ever really saw them as a championship contending type of team. And obviously Lillard is an incredible player. I mean, he's one of the greatest players that we've ever seen. At the point guard position and as a three-point
Top
shooter. If
75.
you Yeah, top 75 player. And not to mention, still a good player, like a really good player. Obviously, he had the Achilles injury, as I mentioned, in the playoffs, but was he an all-star starter this year? I don't know if he was an all-star starter this year. He was last year, and he was an all-star again this year. But, still having a really, really, strong year for the Bucks. He requested a trade out of Portland to try to get to a winning situation. And Milwaukee it appeared to be. Things just didn't really work out. And there you kind of see the classic, like the grass isn't always greener on the other side. So he ends back up in Portland. where Joey, as you mentioned to us a while in the pre-pod lobby while we were trying to set this up, I mean, the Blazers getting all the assets that they got for Lillard back in like August or September 2023 to then keep all of them and then get Lillard back 2 years later. It's just insane.
I don't know if it was collusion. I truly don't want to think that way. But, man, it is very fitting that they got Robert Williams. The only guy that's not there still, Brogdon. They still have Jrue Holiday because Jrue Holiday just went back there after Portland traded him to Boston, and now Boston traded him back to Portland. They still got Tamani Kamara. They still got the first-round pick for your 2029 and the 2 pick swaps from the Bucks, and now they have Dame. They literally just get to keep everything. So if you want to go back and look at the trade and see who it was a win for, it's clearly a win for Portland.
Well, hey, Phoenix got Ayton, and now he's in LA. So
True.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, let's see. In the end, Portland, let's see, all the assets. Shams tweeted it. So, yes, Portland traded Lillard back in 2023 for Jrue Holiday, Tamani Kamara, who was just a throw-in originally from Phoenix. Has turned out to be a really
second-round
good,
pick.
solid, second-round pick, and a very good young defender, 2 seasons in. And then they traded Jrue Holiday, of course, to Boston for Robert Williams, Malcolm Brogdon, and some future assets. Some of them led to Denny Abdia, who was a key piece for them. And then, of course, they trade back for Jrue Holiday, and now they have Lillard. So full circle moment. It's just a great story again. Like, even if it doesn't work out as far as him winning a title in Portland, which I think all of us, I mean, at this current point in time, I think we all love the Blazer roster, but if they somehow became a championship team, that'd be incredible. That'd be an even better story. But even if that doesn't, happen, it's still an incredible career for Damian Lillard, with Portland, throughout.
I mean, yeah, he'll get his jersey retired, obviously, and maybe even a statue outside the arena. Like, so funny that I was at Cavs Youth Sports Camp this morning, and my guy Derek did a little. He was getting the kids hyped up. He did a little reverse jam, and right after it was just straight mean mug, straight Dame time on Paul George. Like, that's exactly what I thought of when I saw him. And then come to find out, as soon as I get out of work, of camp, I'm like, oh man, I was just talking about Dame going back to Portland.
Yeah, and now he's back. Joey, I guess final thing before we move on. What did you think about him going back to Portland versus other options, like maybe cheaper options like going to the Celtics, going to the Miami Heat? I know there were some other teams that were, I'm sure, interested in getting him on a cheaper level where Lillard could have maybe had a better chance of winning a title. Instead goes back to Portland with his family. What do you think of that overall decision?
Come on, at this point in his career, the money doesn't mean anything. As we clearly saw him going to Milwaukee, he was so unhappy. Like, it just did not work out for whatever reason with the team, but him himself, you could just tell. Like, I remember him, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember him posting like things or something, like saying like there's nothing to do, or like he didn't want to, like he misses everything, like just things you could read into. But like, clearly he went back because that's home. That's just home. He feels loved. He feels welcome. That's where his family, that's where his whole family grew up, like where he started his family and career. Like, I don't know. It's just perfect. It just makes more sense. And yeah, he wears the number, he wears the number 0 because he's from Oakland and stuff. So him just being on the West Coast with it just makes sense. I don't know. It's just perfect. I'm really happy of him just being back in Portland, honestly. It just makes my day. That
Absolutely.
Because, again, he doesn't care about the money. The Milwaukee Bucks just bought out his contract. Like, he's getting paid no matter what. So he's fine.
Yeah, the letter O back in Rip City. Definitely going to be a lot of fun, again, just for him being back there. And for the chance that he can develop or help mentor some of those younger guys. I mean, obviously, they have a great defensive, unit in the front court of young guys with Kamara, Denny Abdia, and Donovan Clingan. They drafted Yang Hansen, the Chinese Jokic, who's been, a fan favorite in summer league, and you never know what could happen with players like that. He might be something in the league. Of course, they have Shaedon Sharp. They traded for Drew Holiday. They still have Jeremy Grant. But then, of course, maybe the biggest guy that Lillard could help in this is Scoot Henderson, who was, what was he, the 4th pick in 2022?
He was right
second
after
pick?
Wemby. Right after
Was he
Wemby.
right after Wemby?
I'm 99% sure.
Here, fact check that really quickly, but he was definitely a top pick. And over the first couple of years, I mean, okay, but nothing too special. I mean, of course, being a point guard as a rookie and sophomore in the league, that's the toughest position, I think, to learn in the league, because you're going up against like an all-star, great offensive piece every single night. But entering like a year 3, it could be a breakout year for him. Guys like, I remember Darius Garland, Ja Morant, even Trey Young. Like, there are a lot of players where year 3 is the breakout year, especially for those point guards. And with Damian Lillard off the court, of course, and on the court, Drew Holiday, being able to mentor him with 2 of the most elite players on both sides of the ball could be huge for Scoot Henderson's development, and he could have a big breakout year this season for the Blazers. Ben, what do you think Lillard's impact could be off the court as a leader?
It could be big potentially, because like you just said, with like Scoot Henderson, yeah, he can learn from like 2 like the greatest like point guards for like different like ends of the floor on the zone team. That's just like amazing mentorship. It's hard to find better mentorship than that. I mean, to learn great defense from Holiday, then learn how to be a better like shot creator and find a way to take over games from Dave Lillard.
Yeah, I think Scoot hopefully is gonna, be able to slip right under Dame's wing. He was the 3rd pick in the draft after Wemby and Miller.
That's right. Yeah, so big year for Scoot Henderson, no question about it. Also, got to give a lot of credit to Joe Cronin, the Blazers general manager, after, it was a rough end with, Damian Lillard with Portland the first time. And there was a reason that he requested a trade. It's just because they weren't even good enough to make a play-in tournament or even compete at any sort of level. But being
and then he
able
shipped
to
him somewhere he didn't want to go.
Correct. And I think Dame also deserves a lot of credit for being professional. I mean, he never requested out. He was really good on the floor. For some reason, the Dame Giannis fit. They were a good duo, not as great as I thought they could have been. And of course, they never really were able to play healthy in the playoffs for a while, and a lot of that was roster construction and all that. But either way, just congratulations, Damian Lillard, back with the Portland Trailblazers and all the Blazer fans, because I mean it's just great. I mean, it's just an incredible story all the way around, like we talked about.
100%, just all around excitement.
Yep, absolutely. Well, moving on to another all-star, former all-star that was bought out by his team. We have Bradley Beal, who was officially bought out by the Phoenix Suns. Beal gave back, I believe, $14 million to the Suns to get the buyout, and then immediately signs with the Los Angeles Clippers on a 2-year, $11 million deal, I believe. So, Nick, what did you think about this? I mean, Bradley Beal to the Clippers on a mid-level deal to join that team. I mean, it's huge news.
Yeah, some good value. Some good value right there. I mean, the rich get richer. Just bringing in John Collins about a week ago, and now you bring in a whole nother starter to what was the 5 seed in this year's Western Conference. Another year for, Kawhi to be on the floor with James and them to, get some more continuity going. And Zoo had a amazing season last year. So, the Clippers are cooking right now. And I think Beal is going to, kind of fit in there better than he did in Phoenix. Hopefully. We'll see.
Yeah, Ben, what were your thoughts on the move of Beal to the Clippers?
I really liked it for the Clippers. After the Norman Powell trade went down, I was thinking Oh yeah, Bradley Beal could become available to where the Clippers could get him in. I was like, after that trade, the Clippers should go after him. And look at that, they got him, and I think he'll slide in and fit great on that team. And I heard from Shams. Shams said that James Harden was trying to recruit Bradley Beal and was enough to get Beal to come to their team, which was interesting. So I'm excited about it for the Clippers. That's great, and they're going to be a loaded team next year. We'll see if they can make some noise in the playoffs finally for once.
Right, that's exactly it.
Shout out to extending the olive branch. Good job, James. Way to bring in a former All-Star, a little front court running mate.
Jeez, I gotta go back and think about how many All-Star teammates that James Harden now has played with throughout his career. It's definitely been a lot, but Joey, Beal on the Clippers, obviously, I mean, like Ben said, this is on paper a way better fit than it ever was with the Phoenix Suns, especially even when the trade first happened.
As I said, first off, it's a better fit just because he's not getting paid a boatload of money to do nothing. That's obviously the first step. This is great. And I think, I don't know if we said it in the pre-pod lobby last episode or we said it on the actual last episode, but I'm pretty sure we all kind of predicted this. We all kind of felt this was kind of the move for Bradley Beal. Like in his career, like you already got paid, you're getting much, you're definitely not going to get that money again. So low contract, go to a contender. Like you said, they were the fifth seed last year. He kind of fits in right with them getting rid of Powell, bringing John Collins in. They're filling holes. He knows his role. I truly think this is going to be a good fit. They still got another hole. I think we were saying maybe Brogdon could sign for them because they might need another backup point guard. But
you know what
Clippers are looking scary. What's up?
Is going to help the fit with Beal that wasn't in Phoenix is Tyronn Lue.
Yes, for sure. The coaching in the Phoenix, it was just every other year they've had a new coach, it seems.
Yeah, there's consistency with the Clippers, and we all know Ty Lue is a great coach, and he's a player's coach, so that's definitely going to help a lot with this team for sure.
100%. Yeah, I'm very looking much forward to the Clippers this year. I just truly hope they stay healthy. I see a lot of the memes going around like, who's going to stop this team? And it's like hurt, doubtful, out. It's like, yeah, that's pretty likely, to be honest, based off of the previous many years. But you never know. Maybe it just fits and I'm hurt, but don't worry, I'm going to tough through this. Like, we're competing.
Right, yeah, you never know what could happen with those things. But Beal, I mean, look, because of the last couple of years with Phoenix and the fact that he was on the worst contract in the league, I mean, $53 million with a no-trade clause. I mean, because of that, I feel like with everyone across the league, the people sometimes attach how good a player is to how much they're making. And that's not always the case. And that's very much the case with Beal. Is he playing like someone that should be making $53 million? No way, Jose. But the last couple of years, he's still been a good player. I mean, he's been in the last couple of years a brutal situation in Phoenix where doesn't really have the ball as much, has to come off the bench at certain times, and a team that's struggling. There's so much scrutiny. There's trade rumors. He still is the third option the last 2 years, averaged 18 points, 4 boards, and 4 assists a game for Phoenix, shooting 50% from the field and 41% from three. That's still really good. And now you get that at $5 million a year on a team that fits and actually has some playmaking with James Harden. I mean, Phoenix, of course, nothing against Devin Booker or Kevin Durant. They're great players, but none of them are, playmakers, especially to the level of James Harden, who's still at his older age is one of the best passers in the league.
Yeah, for sure. That's the thing. I loved what you said. People are going to equate him playing terrible because he was getting paid $53 million. Because he may go from, oh man, that's the worst contract in history, to if he performs even half of what he was like in Washington previously to how he is to Clippers, that him getting a $5.5 million deal is going to look like the best contract in the NBA.
Yeah, could be the best bargain in the league. I mean, this guy is still a really, really good player that can be efficient as well. So, as far as their depth goes, their starting five is now Harden, Beal, Kawhi, John Collins, and Zubats. That's very, very good starting five and has definitely some potential there. Nick, you outlined how great all those guys can be for this team. And then their bench, now they have, Chris Dunn is still on their team. He could even be their backup one if necessary. I still think they might try to go out and sign a Brogdon, like you said, Joey. Maybe Chris Paul goes back to the Clippers. But you still have Bogdan Bogdanovic, Derek Jones Jr., Nick Batum, and then they signed Brook Lopez as well. Now, this team, one thing that's in common with a lot of these guys is they're definitely one of the older teams in the league, which hasn't aged, no pun intended, but hasn't aged well over the last couple of years with older teams getting it done. But they're so deep that they're able to withstand some injuries. Like Kawhi is not going to play a ton of games. James Harden's probably not going to play a ton of games. Beal's probably not going to play a ton of games. But they have enough guys to replace them in the starting lineup that they still should be able to get it done. I mean, you're looking at a Clippers team that, like you guys said, 5th seed in the West last year. Want to say they were the second best defense behind Oklahoma City last year, or maybe third best behind Orlando and the Thunder, and like an average offense with Kawhi Leonard missing half of the season. And, they filled some holes with their team. Like they filled a backup center void with Brook Lopez. They replaced Norman Powell with Bradley Beal. And in their starting lineup, they essentially replaced Derek Jones / Batum for John Collins. I mean, this team is definitely upgraded and is one of the true winners of the summer.
Yeah, I like the rotation. You always talk about 7, 8 guys deep in the playoffs, and then Miles, you always talk about 16-game players, and Brandon Brook Lopez is a 16-game player. John Collins, 16-game player. Same thing here with Bradley Beal. That's a 16-game guy you can count on in the playoffs.
Yeah, so I guess question here now with everything I just outlined, then basically, then definitely upgrading and getting, severely better players at certain positions. Where could this team go in the Western Conference? We could play this game every year with the Clippers because for the last 10 to 15 years since the Lob City Clippers, they always try and fool us, man. They always look good, and then something happens, whether it's injuries or just not performing in the playoffs to where they don't get it done. They've had one conference final appearance in their franchise history. But, Joey, you can make the argument this might be the best Clipper team that they've had as far as depth across the board. How good do you think they could be? Are they good enough to maybe knock off an OKC and go to the finals and win?
Okay. I'm going to pump the brakes real quick. I still personally think those Lob City Clippers were probably a better team than this one just because of the pure stardom and the consistency of those stars on those teams. Because you were getting an almost MVP candidate in Chris Paul and Blake Griffin in those times. You're not getting MVP candidate out of James Harden no more. Probably not even out of Kawhi. However, like you said, they're deep and everything. They finished 5th last year. Their ceiling, I feel like they could possibly get 4 or 3. I don't see them moving up too much. I don't see them competing for the top 2 over OKC, Houston, and I'll even say Denver. They might not even get past Denver. That's why I'm saying only maybe 4. But in the playoffs, you never know. You really never know what's going to happen. What injuries may happen, and who's going to just pop off? Who knows? Bradley Beal will drop 2, 3 30-point games in the stretch if they have to play OKC in the playoffs. Oh my gosh, that changes the entire series. You don't expect that out of Bradley Beal every day. You maybe expect that out of Kawhi, but Bradley Beal doing that changes everything. However, their floor, they could possibly be in a play-in team. You never know. The injuries could pile up. They have a deep enough team, and people will be good enough, but they maybe slide into that 7th, 8th spot. So I'm giving you a ceiling and a floor because, like you said, us predicting the Clippers is too crazy.
Oh, for sure. I will say, and then Ben, you can go next with your thoughts on how good this team can be. They were the 5th seed, like we said, but they won 50 games, and I'm pretty sure they were at the bottom end of a 3-way tiebreaker with the Lakers and Denver. So they were tied for the 3 seed, in other words, which could put it a little, differently as well, their last year performance. Ben, what do you think about the Clippers this season?
I think they can be really good and scary next year as long as they stay healthy, of course. Yeah, be a big question still with the Clippers once again next year. But I mean, I don't think they're gonna be able to get number 1 seed. I'm thinking like what Joey said, it could be as high as like 3. They could jump up to like 3 or 4, maybe if they get Harden, Kawhi to play some games and they stay somewhat healthy for the regular season. And I believe the Clippers could be great on both ends of the floor. They got great defenders for defense, multiple pretty good scores offensively, and I mean they're like a MVP guy, I think, as well on their team. But I mean, hopefully Harden and Kawhi, though, which we did see some performances towards the end of last year for them where they went crazy, can find ways to just go crazy again in some games and let them do some big wins that could be huge.
Yeah, Nick, what say you about the Clippers?
Top 3 for me right now, for sure. Like you said, Ben, they don't have the MVP guy, but they do have 2 former that level players, and just the same way that the Clippers can run into injury problems, like either of the 2 former MVPs could twist an ankle tomorrow, and then all of a sudden the door is wide open. So when I think I see on paper a team this good that has a shot to be top 3, then I think anything's possible for them.
Yeah, that's definitely fair. And, I will say that, former MVP caliber guys, not at that level, probably in the regular season, but I mean,
Yeah.
either of those guys are capable of being the best players in a playoff series. And we even talked about that way back in our playoff previews when it was them versus Denver in the first round. And some of us had the Clippers winning because if Kawhi and Harden were up to that level, then they, had a chance to beat Denver. I mean, of course, they went to game 7, but even game 4, they were one Aaron Gordon crazy dunk at the buzzer away from potentially going up 3-1. And then against OKC, I mean, they had the defense to go up against the Thunder as well. So I think they definitely could have a strong year. I mean, we still will have our full regular season predictions and standings and all that, but I would probably say probably nothing too crazy in the regular season because I just don't think they have the durability in the regular season. But in the playoffs, if we did an overall power rankings of who could win a title, this team is definitely up there for sure, in my opinion, because they just look so good on both ends. I mean, their only weaknesses really their only weakness is that injury report. That's really it.
Yeah, that's the one thing I think we can all agree on. This team is definitely built for the playoffs. Like, regardless of how we think they can do in the regular season, they're old, might not work exactly the way. But as soon as the playoffs hit, all bets are off. You never know what you're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Just great at this point in the summer to have 2 big, free agency type of moves like this. I mean, I was just even thinking about this with both Lillard and Beal. These are 2 guys that in this decade of the 2020s, these guys in a season averaged over 30 points per game. And not even like we're midway through the decade and they've gotten bought out and signed on mid levels. Like, it's crazy how quickly it goes.
I hope Portland or the Clippers win a title in the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, agreed. I would love for Portland.
Interesting question for you guys. Who would you guys prefer or rather see win a championship? Damian Lillard or James Harden?
That's tough.
That's the easiest question of my life. Dame Lillard, 10 out of 10.
That's not tough for me.
Thank you, Ben.
I agree, Joey. Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
They're both very deserving.
Nick, what do you think? Well, Well, Joey, why do you go against that? Why? Because Harden's requested trades and all that?
The request of the trades, like you said, the amount of all-star teammates he's had. How many all-star teammates you want to compare Dame Lillard to James Harden? Everywhere he's gone, he has just had it. Dame Lillard's always had a good number 2, or in the Milwaukee case, he was the good number 2. But no one substantial. We always talked about those Portland teams. They made the conference finals. The Clippers only did that one time in their franchise history. Like the Portland Trailblazers always overachieved. He always and he's loyal. Like I said, I'm all for Dame. I don't know. I'm still salty. I was watching James Harden highlights earlier because they were posting the Clippers, obviously, and I saw a clip of him just ripping somebody and grabbing, I think it was Josh Hart's arm, and getting the foul call when he was in Houston. I'm still salty about him. Everyone hates Shea because of the foul baiting. James Harden was the OG from that. Let's be real.
Yeah, I will say James Harden. There are definitely. I understand the reasons for sure. I mean, Dame's the loyal guy. Harden has definitely requested out of certain places, but I personally think that all the times he's had to request trades, it made sense why he would do that. Just like it made sense for Lillard to do it. Like, every single time a player requests a trade, for the most part, I think there is reasoning to it. But Nick, what do you say on this question?
I guess I'll go with Dame to fit with the crowd.
He's trying to fit with the crowd. I guess it would be Dame too because of the loyalty. It would be great to see him win a ring. But Harden as well, because I think that if Harden were able to get a championship, no doubter he would be the third best shooting guard of all time. And I think that would settle those debates. After MJ and Kobe, it's James Harden over Dwayne Wade, because that's like the crazy debate right now. Dwayne Wade versus James Harden for third best shooting guard of all time. And then, if Harden had a ring, then there would be some conversations. But I think I'd rather see Lillard do it because of the loyalty factor.
If Dame Lillard wins a ring with Portland, regardless if he's just the vet at the end of the bench and like a leader at that point, or just he starts but not like his 20-plus point scorer anymore. If he does that, he might be like a top 5 point guard of all time, in my opinion. Maybe not top 5, but he's definitely on the conversation just because of everything he's been through and finally getting that ring for that team and city. I'm sorry, just legacy alone puts him in that conversation.
Yeah, we'd have to make a list because point guard is very stacked.
100%. I know. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a second. Calm down, Joey. Calm down. Wait a second. You're getting a little too excited.
But no, absolutely would be great if either of those guys got a championship. But yeah, just great to have those signings. Now let's get into our second part of Hall of Fame or Hall of Very Good. Joey had 5 of them in the last episode. That was a lot of fun. We've got 5 more here to go with. So, Joey, pretty self-explanatory, but you want to explain once again for new listeners?
Yeah. I will give you guys 5 players. I'll let you ask and we'll debate it. I didn't expect it the first time to go around for it to be so heavily debated, but I picked out some good players for y'all. So we will debate and pick if they're a Hall of Fame or just a Hall of Very Good, and will be hopefully remembered for the future. But I will say, based off of the last one, these guys probably, it's a lot more debatable just because most of these guys are still playing. I will say,
okay.
Before the last time, a lot of them were more retired. But and a couple of these guys we already kind of talked about in this episode. So to start it off,
all the mystery. Can't wait to see what lies ahead. Let's go. Take it away, Joey.
All right. So for the first, we had probably one of the greatest Brooklyn Nets players, our favorite GFF team, Brook Lopez. Now, I will list off all the awards, and unfortunately for him, I thought there was a lot more, to be honest, but only one all-star team. He was all-rookie first team, 2 all-defensive teams, what I was kind of shocked about, to be honest. I always thought he was kind of a cone. And then obviously the NBA championship in 2021. But like we were talking about last game with, or last episode with this, and Al Horford changed his game a lot. Brook Lopez has changed his game a lot to become where he is. And he's still playing. Like we said, he's with the Clippers now on a contender still, hopeful in this still produce. Like, his story is not over, but right now it's very up in the air.
Yeah, and along with, I don't know if you mentioned all-time leading scorer in Nets history as well.
Yeah.
So
I was going to say, regardless of him making the Hall of Fame or Hall of Very Good, he's going to get his jersey retired by the Brooklyn Nets, as he should, I think.
You think?
I think he should. You're the all-time leader in scoring in that team. I know they haven't had a great history, but, like, you gotta remember that history.
All right, that's a new segment that we need to do in another episode. Should the guy's number be retired? Because that I don't know. Well, just quickly, a couple of reasons. He is the all-time leading scorer, but they've given his number up to, like, they give it to Kyrie Irving. Like, they've given it up to players and, like, prominent players, and it's also the Nets, where it's not like you're having a long tenure with the New Jersey or Brooklyn Nets, regardless. So, I don't know. But either way, Brook Lopez, Hall of Famer, Hall of Very Good. Ben, what do you think about this one?
I would have to give Hall of Very Good. Look, throughout his career, he's, usually has been a pretty good player, but he's never been a superstar, some amazing, like, incredible player. But, I mean, he's always been pretty good and consistent. He just has never been able to play, like, superstar very good, to where I would say, like, he should be in the Hall of Fame, at least for now. I mean, who knows? If he somehow wins another ring with the Clippers, my mind could change on that. But I don't think so. I think Hall really good.
Nick, how about you?
Well, Ben, you said it twice there. You said he's a pretty good player. He's a pretty good player. I don't even think he's in the Hall of Very Good. I think he's in the Hall of Pretty Good. This feels disrespectful to DeMar DeRozan and Kevin Love, who we had in the segment on the last episode. And that's all I'm going to say.
That is true. I'll give you that. Like I said, maybe this one at least, it's not going to be as stacked. Maybe in the next segment, if I do this again, I'll pick some more balanced players and stretch it out. But yeah, this isn't a great start. I'm sorry, y'all. I think it's also a Hall of Very Good, or like you said, pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, heck, I would say all of Very Good. I'll give Brook his respect here, because I mean, I don't know if you can only be pretty good to lead a franchise all time in scoring, even though, like I said, it's the Nets. It's not anything crazy, but you have to be a little better than pretty good to lead a team in scoring all time. But and again, he changed his game, like you said. I mean, I did this for Al Horford.
Yep.
Hey, Al Horford and Brook Lopez, their careers could kind of be, they're pretty similar when you take a look at it. Lopez was just more of a scorer throughout his career, but like Brook Lopez, through his first 8 years, guess how many 3-pointers Brook Lopez made in his first 8 seasons in the league?
Let's see. Horford was 10, so I'm going to go 15.
Okay, throw out guesses. Throw out a guess, Ben, Nick.
24.
How many what?
How many threes Brook Lopez made in the first 8 years of his career in the regular season?
I don't, like 50 something. I don't know, but probably
Three
yeah.
for 29 from 3 in 8 years.
Oh,
And since then, he's made 1,072 threes. He's completely changed his game to be
okay.
a stretch big and extend his career. I mean, he used to be a great post scorer. I mean, like, he led a team all time in scoring, playing one way, not shooting threes just as a post threat, goes to the Lakers and really Milwaukee and becomes a stretch big and turns himself from a cone, like you said, Joey, in his Brooklyn days, to an elite defender. He's been a great defender in Milwaukee. Like just in 2023, he was second in the Defensive Player of the Year voting to Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, I feel like he's had a very good career. The stats may not all say that, but and an NBA champion. So I think he's had a very good career for just how he was able to switch his game to adapt to how the league was changing. And is he going to be a Hall of Famer? No, I'd be extremely shocked if that happened. But a very commendable career for Brook Lopez.
I agree. And yeah, his all defensive teams, he made it twice, both with Milwaukee, I think, 19 and 20 and 22-23, which that year he was on the first team, like you said, he was the runner-up to Jaren Jackson. But I'm pretty sure I looked at the Basketball Reference Hall of Fame probability, and I know it doesn't mean much based off of the last time we did this, but he's only got a 0.3% chance to make the Hall of Fame, so I feel like that one's a little more accurate.
Yeah, probably. Imagine telling yourself that Brook Lopez would be runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year, like during his Brooklyn days.
No, never would have thought that. That's why I'm stuck in that year. Next guy, another guy we were talking about, and this is much more debated, I think. And personally, I think I'll say it, Hall of Fame, but just purely off of how he is just his whole career, like as a total, just the kind of man he is. Because JRUE Holiday, that's the name. I'm going to tell you right now, JRUE Holiday. Only 2 All-Stars, 2 championships. He was all defensive team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. And pretty much the only year he didn't make it was 1920. But like from 17 to
1920?
From 2017 to 18 to basically this last year, 24-25 was when he didn't. All the other years he made it, almost 6 years in a row. 6 out of 7 years he made it in a row, all defensive team. However, Twyman Stokes Teammate of the Year and Sportsmanship Award, he has won 4 or 5 times there. 3 times for the Teammate of the Year, 2 times for the Joe Dumars Sportsmanship Award, and in 24-25 this year as well, he won the Social Justice, the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Trophy. So that's what I'm saying. Like, as a total, he is going to be regarded as one of the best teammates, players of his generation that every one of his peers are probably going to look upon fondly, very fondly.
Yeah, he's definitely meant a lot to all the teams he's been with throughout his career. I mean, one of the great defenders that we've had, we say in this generation, our generation, very great perimeter defender. Anytime, like there was that period during the prime of his career where if you asked any NBA player who's the most underrated defender in the league, JRUE Holiday. That was the answer to like every single one of them. So just a huge impactful player throughout his career.
My initial gut was Hall of Very Good, but because I think sportsmanship is overrated sometimes. But I think he's a Hall of Famer because he's one of the best two-way players like of our generation.
Yeah.
I don't feel uncomfortable saying that. And he was like coming out of high school and stuff. He won the Gatorade National Player of the Year in 2008, which like you don't get that from defending. You get that from putting up highlights and being on hoop mixtapes. So
I was about to say that's the one thing I didn't mention was the Gatorade Player of the Year and McDonald's All-American going into college.
Yeah, so just in terms of like you said, Joey, the whole picture, I think that's what I would say is the determining factor and the difference maker for the decision.
Yeah, Ben, how about you? This is a tough one, Ben. How about you?
I ended up picking Hall of Fame. I agree pretty much with what Nick said. He's one of the best, two-way scorers of our generation. 2 NBA championships helps. He played great defense on the Celtics and Bucks and just throughout his career, and it was really impactful and helping the teams win titles that he won titles on, and he was always just a great guy, doing great things, a great teammate. I think him getting into the Hall of Fame eventually would be well deserved for him.
Yeah, I'll stick with it too. Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer. I mean, yeah, Nick, at first when you said one of the great two-way players of the generation, I'm like, oh, that's a little crazy, but not really. When you take a look at what he's done, I mean, great playmaker. He's always been pretty efficient for a guard, whether he's been the one or the two guard. A good mid-range scorer, sometimes has had good three-point shooting years. And underrated part of his game that has always stood out to me about his game is his post play for a guard. Just because he's bigger, he always is able to take advantage of those smaller guards because they just don't run many post ups for guys like Jrue Holiday in the league. But whenever he does it, he's able to score on them because he's just bigger. So I'll go Hall of Famer, two-time champion. The day we're recording this, I believe it's the 4-year anniversary of when he got the steal and the lob to Giannis in the finals with Milwaukee. So, Hall of Famer for Jrue Holiday, I think. And again, still a good player. He's coming off of a rough year, and obviously he's getting older, but you never know what could happen. He gets bought out middle of the year if things aren't working out in Portland, ends up on a title team. You never know what could happen.
Wins the title in Portland.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah, can't.
He wins a title in Portland. That'd be crazy. I agree, though. I'd put him as Hall of Fame, but definitely not a first ballot Hall of Famer. Definitely not. The next guy we have, I'm just gonna say Jimmy Butler right away. Don't need to go into anything. Jimmy Butler, Himmy Butler, won the Most Improved Player in 2014-15. Won the Larry Bird Trophy, the Eastern Conference Finals MVP in 23.
Right.
He got 6 All-Star games to his credit. He's got 4 All-NBA third teams and 1 All-NBA second team, and 5 All-Defensive second teams as well under his belt. So no championship, but a lot of accolades. Been the number one guy. Talk about an overachiever, taking that Heat team and developing the name Himmy Butler and taking that Heat to the finals that year. What do you think?
I mean, honestly, almost just based on the Miami run itself, I would think about saying Hall of Famer. But when that is the one thing that stands out as your whole, career, it's kind of a problem. It's kind of I think that's an issue. Is that you took an 8 seed to the finals, but you look throughout his whole career, that's the best accomplishment sort of he's had. When you're talking about Hall of Fame accolades, All-Stars and stuff, everyone in the Hall of Fame's got All-Stars. Everyone in the Hall of Fame's got all NBA team stuff like that. So what else did you do to make your impact on the league? And when that is the one thing that comes to mind, it's just I don't know if I would mention anything else that is in his framework, in his work, in his whatever, his body of work, sorry.
Yeah.
That would get him in there.
Whoa, we lose Nick for a second there. Wow, he finished up his spiel and got out of here. No, so what I would say along with it is Nick is slowly coming back here. There he is. Welcome back. What I would say with Jimmy Butler, the fact that the finals runs, I mean, he did another one too in the bubble as well. I mean, he did lead 2 very unexpected runs to the finals where he rose in those playoffs, for sure. And has always been a great two-way player as well. I guess the one thing to go along with that is that run to the finals. He obviously was incredible. I'm thinking back to the previous 8 seed that also made a finals, the 1999 New York Knicks. Did they have a Hall of Famer? It's possible to be in the Hall of Fame without leading your team to the finals. Because their number one option, I want to say, was Latrell Sprewell playoffs. It wasn't anything too special, but it was 36-year-old Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston and Latrell Sprewell was their leading scorer in the playoffs on that run to the finals.
Yeah.
First of all, that's insane that team made a finals.
Bad year for the East that year.
Yeah, I think that's
but,
a decent thing to compare it against.
Yeah, but Jimmy Butler, he's been consistently great, especially in the playoffs when it does matter. He's always been an overachiever, even coming from his personal life, even from the beginning to the draft being the 30th pick, rising up and becoming this all-star, all-NBA player.
Former JUCO guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I think I might give it to him. I think I wouldn't be fair for me to give it to DeMar DeRozan in the last episode and not give it to Jimmy Butler in this episode because Jimmy Butler's had a better career. So I'll go Hall of Fame.
I'll go Hall of Very Good because I didn't give it to DeMar last episode for the same reasoning.
Ben, what do you think?
He's a Hall of Fame for me. He's had a super good career. I mean, I did give DeRozan the Hall of Fame, and yes, I think Butler's had an even better career with DeRozan. He's made it to the finals at least 2 times, where he carried teams to unexpected finals trips. Didn't win any of those finals, but was still pretty impressive. And yeah, recently in this league, he's been one of the better two-way players. Always been great defensively. He's been great offensively. Yeah, I mean, he's been super impressive with the Heat up until kind of recently before he left there, and even before the Heat, I mean, he played at the Bulls, Timberwolves, and 76ers, and I mean, I thought he was great on those teams too. I mean, it didn't take him too long to become pretty good in the NBA, so I think he had enough success for him to get in eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I get the commonality about all of that, of course, which is what people will bring up, and it's what we talked about the whole season when Jimmy Butler was trying to get out of Miami, is the fact that every single destination ends poorly with him and his team. So that's not a good mark, but that's happened a lot before throughout history as well. So I don't think that should be a mark against him.
I agree. I would say Hall of Fame just purely off of probably being one of the best two-way players. All those all-defensive teams, all-NBA teams, one of the best 15 players 5 times. That's incredible. So
Yep.
I would say as well. Next, another guy who probably going to be very hotly debated and maybe a couple hot takes here. Paul George.
Oh.
9 All-Star teams. 2012, 2013, most improved. All-rookie team that year. 1, 2, 3, 4 all-defensive teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 all-NBA teams.
Paul George is a Hall of Famer. And I don't think he's miles above Jimmy Butler or DeMar DeRozan, but I do think he's had a better career and is a better player than those guys.
Can I put one? Here's the thing. You were saying what the most memorable thing for Jimmy Butler was him leading that one team to the finals. Paul George hasn't even tasted the finals, has he?
In my head, Paul George is 20 years old and taking on LeBron James for the Pacers. That's the Paul George I introed to, and that's the player who I've watched his entire career. He's been that guy. He had setbacks, he got injuries, and he had changed his game some, but he's that guy.
Yeah. Hall of Fame for Nick. Miles or Ben? Who wants to?
I'll go.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go. So, yeah, Paul George. Yeah, that's a good one to debate. I give him Hall of Famer. I mean, I don't know about first ballot Hall of Famer, but I think he deserves to make it eventually. I mean, kind of like Jimmy Butler. He's been one of the better, modern, two-way kind of players. He's been a great defender consistently when he's been playing. It's been a great scorer consistently when he's been playing. In my opinion, though, I mean, I would give the edge to where Jimmy Butler is the better player. I would pick him still to be more deserving than George for making the Hall of Famer, but I still think George is deserving enough to make it. I mean, he's had a great career. I mean, he's played pretty well when he's been healthy, and I guess he's got enough accomplishments to where I think he deserves to make it, but he's a interesting one.
Yeah, this is so tough, man.
Most
I
All-Star
think
games, most All-NBA teams, highest three-point percentage, highest free throw percentage, most blocks, most steals, most rebounds between DeMar, Jimmy, and Paul George. Paul George wins in all those. Points goes to DeMar, 21.3 career. Paul George at 20.6. So if you want to split hairs, we can split hairs.
but then the question, of course, comes to playoff basketball, because I think that does matter a lot. And also the fact, like, Jimmy Butler, he's not a scorer at this point. Like, the last few years, he hasn't really been out there to really score.
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
Paul
even
George.
when he was with Miami, leading those teams like Hero, Robinson, freaking Gabe Vincent, like those guys were getting buckets. Like Jimmy is the main guy, but he's not like the head of the snake all the time. Same thing with DeMar. Paul George, when I remember going against the head of the snake.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some very good Pacer teams, though.
Danny
Like,
Granger,
really
Roy
good guys.
Hibbert, Lance Stevenson.
I'll give you that.
Lance will make you dance.
I don't even say Jimmy Butler, like those first few years of Miami, I think he should be given credit too, where coming off of Minnesota and Philly and Chicago, where locker room cancers, the jury's out on whether or not he's a good teammate or not, goes to Miami first year, takes a back seat as a scorer to up his playmaking and give undrafted guys confidence, like a Vincent, a Kendrick Nunn, a Duncan Robinson, allow Bam to be an all-star. I think that kind of helps his case a little bit. I mean, I think Paul George does make it as a Hall of Famer because, I mean, he has done a lot throughout his career. I mean, he's a 9-time All-Star, 4-time All-Defensive Player. He was third in MVP the one year with Oklahoma City. But again, in the playoffs, just not, after his Pacers days, after he left Indiana, he was a playoff dropper, if you want to look at it. So I would say both Paul George and Jimmy Butler are Hall of Famers, but I would agree with Ben that Jimmy Butler has had a better career. But they've both had very good careers. They've both overachieved, and they've both been very good. But I agree with what Joey said. I put 2 finals appearances when you weren't expected to make it versus Paul George leading 2 high-seeded Pacers teams to a conference finals,
I agree. I honestly would take Jimmy Butler's career number. Not like you said, Nick's the stats. Paul George is obviously probably the better and the more talented player than the other guys we discussed around that same time period. But when you're coming down to playoff success and stuff, Jimmy Butler, he just clears them. Paul George
have a ring.
Paul George hasn't even tasted the finals.
I know, but you're talking about like playoff impacts and stuff. And none of these guys have a ring.
No, you're right. That's why we're all comparing them. But at least Jimmy Butler has taken the Timberwolves days. How many playoff appearances did those Timberwolves teams have before Jimmy Butler got there?
That's right.
Not since KG, and they had Cat and Andrew Wiggins, Zach LaVine at the time. Like they had a squad. Then Jimmy Butler.
Were the Pacers
gets there.
good between Reggie Miller and Paul George?
Yes, they've been consistent. I mean,
I was going to say competitive playoff teams. They had Danny Granger and stuff, but I get those Paul George Pacers teams, Nick. I look very fondly on because I thought he was the one that's going to take LeBron down on those Heat teams. So I very much love that Paul George. but that's the only Paul George I remember, honestly, because after that injury and stuff, he was good, but not memorable anything. Nothing.
Yeah,
In my
after
opinion,
Paul
after
George-
that.
Yeah, after Paul George left the Pacers, he had great regular season years, but underachieved with OKC. They didn't win a playoff series. They were basically upset in both series. The Clippers was supposed to be championships in LA with the Clippers. It was, with him and Kawhi, they're a great team. That never happens. They do go to a conference finals the one year, but overall, I think Jimmy Butler has had the better career. But what you were, I don't know what you guys were saying it. Paul George is the most talented out of all those guys. Paul George is so fun to watch.
Yeah.
In the 2010, you could say that he was the 2010s version of what Jason Tatum is doing today. Like they're very similar comparison players, in their day. So none of that's against Paul George, but when you're, splitting hairs like that, a lot of times you got to go to playoff success and finals appearances. Even if you don't win the thing, getting to the finals is pretty impressive. You win a conference, when doing that. But
I was going to say that was one of the big things about Chris Paul. Everyone was like, he's the point god, and he's so good and he's going to make the Hall of Fame. But like the one big mark against him was always he never made it he made it to the conference finals with the Clippers, but never made it to the finals. Getting to the finals is such a huge achievement. You're one out of two teams out of 32 can make it. That's it. That's all that can make the NBA finals. You do that one year. There are so many teams still haven't even made that. But we will move on because I only got one player left. And it is another one who I honestly think just injuries probably got the better of him, especially towards the end. But those teams in Portland with Dame Lillard, LaMarcus Aldridge was one of the best big men in that time in that Western Conference, along with Kevin Love. He got 7 all-star teams, all rookie team, and then was all NBA 5 times, including, I think one of those was with the Spurs still, which is a lot of people think just at the end of his career.
Yes, in like 2018, he was.
Yeah, he made it. He actually made twice all NBA team with the Spurs. His first year in San Antonio and his third year. But yeah, what do you think?
I'll quickly go. I think barely Hall of Fame. It's borderline, but when you're consistently an elite scorer and a top player at your position, I think that nets, you deserving of a Hall of Fame appearance. I mean, he was a very, very, very good player, and that, so I think that he's worthy of a Hall of Fame, even though he may not have the playoff success. I just think when you're consistently that great throughout, a 10 to 12 year period, I think that can deserve you credit. I said the same thing with his Spurs teammate, DeMar DeRozan, and that's why I put him in myself. So I think Hall of Fame for LaMarcus.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
I agree with what Miles said. He just barely gets Hall of Fame for me, just basically because with what I know about him, he's been consistently, really good throughout his career. Never totally had the playoff success teams he was on, but was always like one of the top power forward big guys still. So I think he just gets the edge in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. I'll fit in with the crowd once again. No. But I would probably say Hall of Fame. Just, I think Miles made a good case being a dominant scorer at your position for, 16 years, and then having your team make the playoffs. Let's see, 9 out of those 16 years, and he was the leading shot attempt leader in field goal attempts like a couple seasons during his run, and his career average was 50%. So if you're asked to do a lot and you're making half your shots, one of every 2 shots, like it's pretty solid.
And it's just like DeMar DeRozan I keep talking about, but at the power forward position. I mean, these are not easy 2-point shots that he's taking. contested fadeaway mid-range shots. Like, it's incredible the
I
types of
used
scoring runs this guy would go on.
I use the baseball reference where it's like if you fail 7 out of 10 times in baseball, you're a Hall of Famer. And in basketball, if you fail 1 out of 2 times, make half your shots, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's that word again. Pretty good.
I will go against the crowd, though. As much as I love LaMarcus Aldridge, I think he's just Hall of very good. I'd rather give it, like, if we're comparing some players, especially around that time, LaMarcus Aldridge and Kevin Love, who we talked about last episode. Kevin Love, I feel like just that championship gives him. I know it was later, it was different because he already went to the East and teamed up, but I don't know. Marcus tried to do the same thing in San Antonio, and it just didn't work out that great. But again, the West is much tougher. If you switched Kevin Love and had LaMarcus Aldridge come to Cleveland, we probably would have had the same result. So I don't know. I'll say Hall of very good, but I would not be surprised if he does make the Hall of Fame eventually.
I don't know if LaMarcus is locking up Steph like Love did in Game 7.
That is true, though. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, that's true. There might be worse results.
Could you imagine if that's the only difference?
Yeah, it comes down to that, and it's LaMarcus on the pit. That'd be something.
Well, that's all my players.
9 years later, we're sitting here talking about can LaMarcus make the Hall of Fame? We're like, well, he couldn't guard Steph on the last possession in Game 7.
It's like, who else could? Oh, Kevin Love can.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, that was fantastic. Great Hall of Fame or Hall of Very Good. That was a lot of fun. Thank you very much, Joey.
Of course. I'll try to think of some more players if you ever want to do it again.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now, I know we're going a little long here, but why not? Let's do this all-time 2K rating game. We can do it a little quicker if we wanted to, but we've done the NBA 2K rating game a lot on here before with current players, current teams. On the April Fool's episode, we did it 10 years ago, but we're doing it a little bit differently on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to give you guys a player and give you guys the year and the conference that they played in. And I'm going to give you their attributes on 2K, the most relevant attributes for that player. All right, so we're going to start. This player is from 2012 in the Western Conference. Overall is 87. His inside scoring is 73. His outside scoring is 83. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to be good tonight.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Like, if you guys are going to be able to get this. I might have to go to, like, his badges.
Oh, we can try. We can try. If we need hints, we can ask.
Yeah.
Okay. 2012, Western Conference, 87 overall.
Sorry to cut you off. Want to clarify the year? Is this 2K12 or is this like 2011 to 2012? Like,
so it's from the 2K26 Classic Teams, 2011-2012 team.
Oh, okay.
So his overall is 87. His inside scoring is 73.
okay, we're back.
We're back. All right. 2012. His inside scoring is 73. Outside scoring is 83. Athleticism, 85. Playmaking, 81. And he's an 87 overall. 2012 Western Conference player.
87 overall in 2012.
Oklahoma City Thunder.
OKC?
Yeah.
In 2012? Good three-point shooter. Is that KD?
No.
Is this James
there's
Harden?
Ibaka?
Miles, 1 point for Miles.
James Harden.
Sixth man James Harden. Because this is sixth man James Harden.
All right. The next
James Harden should not be an 87 overall when he was on OKC. No
The
shot.
next player is from modern day NBA. He's in the Western Conference. He's a 77 overall. His inside scoring is at a 70. His outside scoring is at a 53. His athleticism is at a 76. And his rebounding is at an 89.
Okay, it's rebounder.
He's a 6'11" Western Conference center, international.
Internet. Ooh.
I'm just trying to think of like is this like Bismack Biyombo?
No.
Hmm.
Jeez.
He's been in the league for 12 years.
12 years.
12 years, man.
He's not
Let's
going to
see.
start.
Not at 77.
Houston Rockets.
Oh, the
Steven
Steven
Adams.
Adams.
Dang it, dude. I'm trying to avoid that.
No, that's the thing. As soon as you give us the team, we can get it.
I know.
Maybe do divisions.
I know,
Ooh.
but I was going to say Southwest, but I didn't know if that was
Oh, I
right.
got you.
No, that's the
I guess
Southwest.
we could ask other hints. Like I was gonna. Okay, all right. Next, how many of these do you got?
I have 7.
7. All right, so 2 down.
All right. This next player is also from the modern NBA. He is a 90 overall. His inside scoring is a 64. His outside scoring is an 88. His athleticism is an 80, and his playmaking is a 91.
Eastern or Western Conference?
Eastern Conference. The inside scoring at 64 seems very misleading.
Is it
Outside
Trae
scoring
Young?
at 88, athleticism at 80, playmaking at 91.
Is it Trae Young?
Incorrect.
Ooh,
That's a good guess, though. I'm trying to think.
88 outside scoring, he's got to be better than 88, Trae Young.
I agree.
This guy's 6'5". He's been in the league for 5 years.
6'5".
Tyrese Halliburton.
Nice, Ben.
Nice, man.
Let's go.
You know what? I could see that. I could actually see that. It's not like he's the best finisher right at the basket.
A 64 though?
90,
That's bad, though.
90 overall is too high, too. He should be like in 88.
All right, this is from
Well,
the
after
2013,
finals,
2014 Western Conference player. Actually mentioned earlier in the pod. His attributes aren't loading right now, so we're gonna keep making up things about him until they do.
without telling us the player.
Freaking isn't okay.
You said
Refresh.
Western Conference?
Yeah.
Um,
How does this not work? All the other links
Oh,
work. Okay. 2014. Let's say his dunk is a 99. His outside scoring is a 52. Rebounding is probably around an 85, and his playmaking is low. Defending, 76.
It's like
6'10".
Jordan,
Went to college at the University of Oklahoma.
Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin. Yeah.
Oh,
Like, how do I click the link and the attributes don't load? Tell me.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh.
Okay, next player. Here's the attributes. That's crazy. It
Oh, did they
works.
just load up?
They just loaded up. That's interesting. Okay, this is a current day player, who plays in the Western Conference. He's an 89 overall this year on 2K. His inside scoring is a 90. His outside scoring is a 77. His athleticism is at an 86. Playmaking 74. Rebounding 71. Defending 61. He's been in the league for 6 years now.
6 years?
A Western Conference player.
I'm trying to think of the divisions.
Jamal Murray.
No.
Oh,
It's a 90 overall.
89. Not quite.
Oh, 89.
Um,
I'm sorry.
It's
Yeah, that
gonna
one
be,
overall.
It's going to be the Southwest Division.
Can you repeat like the like shooting attributes?
Yes. 90 inside, 77 outside. Playmaking 74, athleticism 86.
Ja.
No.
No,
Yeah, I was
his-
about
his-
to guess too.
I was thinking him right off the rip, but hasn't been in the league 6 years yet, has he?
Oh, is this Zion?
That's correct.
Oh wait, no, it
Yes.
was. It has been 6 years.
Okay.
Did someone say Zion before?
No,
No,
he
I
said Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Same
said
draft
Ja
class.
Morant. Yeah.
Okay, we're going back to 2014.
Here we go.
We have an 83 overall player from the Western Conference in the what division are we in? Hold for dramatic effect. In the Southwest Division. We're staying in the Southwest Division. He's an 83 overall, 55 inside scoring, 87 outside scoring, 71 athleticism, 82 playmaking, 35 rebounding, and 55 defending. 2014 Western Conference Southwest. 83 overall, 55 inside, 87 outside, 71 athleticism, 82 playmaking.
I immediately think like a Dirk Nowitzki at the end.
You're
of his
on the
career.
right track.
Oh, I was like, at the end of his career, he was a great shooter, but athleticism and all the inside stuff goes down.
Think the same uniform.
Same team. Okay.
Oh, man.
Dallas 2014.
No.
Who was just
Not-
bombing threes? Like Vince Carter? No, not Vince Carter.
Think Boston as well.
Boston and
Huh?
Dallas in 2014.
Think getting dunked on by LeBron off Mario Chalmers.
Jason Terry, the Jet. Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
Jason Terry.
Oh, man.
Forgot about that guy.
Was this 2014 or 2011?
2011.
Nick.
It's late, guys. It's late.
That is late. It's
late.
okay.
But Jason
Are we
Terry,
keeping
Nick.
tallies? Who? What's the score? Is there a score?
Well, if I give that one to Joey, then Ben has one, Joey has one, Miles has two.
Okay.
All right.
All right. How many
All right,
more
this is
do
the
we
last
have?
one.
Oh, this is the
Last
last. Oh, jeez. All right.
Current player in 2K26, he's at an 88 this year. His inside scoring is low. It's a 54. His outside scoring is an 88 as well. His athleticism is an 81, and his playmaking is also an 88. Triple 88. Rebounding 40, defending 54.
Eastern or Western Conference?
Eastern Conference in the Central.
So our division.
6 years in the league.
Pascal Siakam.
No. His rebounding is a 40, and his defending is a 54.
Okay.
His
This is
inside
Darius
scoring is also a
Garland, isn't it?
54. It is Darius Garland.
Ah, there we go.
Hey.
Wow.
Yeah,
All right,
GG.
sorry about the Jason Terry thing.
Oh, that is a-okay. That is a-okay. It is late, and we had to work hard to get this one going. So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank all you guys for putting up with this episode. It was a lot of fun stuff to go over here today. We will be back in the next episode to have some more fun. We'll continue the jersey breakdown in the next episode as well, and we'll see what other news we have to go over as well. You guys have anything else before we get out of here?
Joey's face, that's the thumbnail right there.
That's right.
Now
Oh,
it's frozen. Now
no.
he's pissed.
Oh, no. I just missed it. What happened to my internet?
All right.
Oh, no.
Thank you for watching. Peace. Peace.
Thank you guys. Yes, thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.
Peace.